2009 Tempranillo. Um, I love Tempranillo. I don't particularly like Rioja. It's a little too soft, a little too pretty. It doesn't have a lot of texture and mouthfeel to it. Tempranillo as a grape, though, is big. It's rich. It's very full-bodied. About 4 years ago, I fell in love with a little vineyard up in El Dorado. Many of you know I get a lot of fruit from El Dorado. I just really think it's a high potential area. This grower, he grows very well. Tempranillo, Pinot, Syrah, Malbec, Cab actually. But for me, it's the Tempranillo. If you've never had a Tempranillo, it's very hard to explain. It's a little more rustic, actually. It leans more to the black fruits. It's not as big as a Cab. It's very similar to a Merlot with a little more elegance, actually. Because this is mountain fruit, this particular wine is bigger and richer than most. More acid, more structure. Leans to a very elegant Cab with a little more rustic qualities to it. I want to say farm-like. It's a hard one to explain if you haven't had old world wines before. It's big, it's full-bodied, a lot of ripe red fruits. Fun bottle of wine. Cut. I want to do that whole thing over again. (2009) Tempranillo. Tempranillo cut. (2009) Tempranillo. If you haven't had a Tempranillo before, it's hard to explain a little bit. It's the main grape of Spain for quality wines. It's their Cab, if you will, for Napa. It's not as big as Cab. It has the same amount of tannin, though. So it's an oxymoron for people who truly like Cab. It's got a little more elegance, but the similar structure. People are scared away from California Tempranillo because there's a lot of $9 and $10 and $11 Spanish Tempranillo. This isn't remotely close to the same type of wine. Frustrates me a little bit, actually. My Tempranillo is from a 3,000 foot elevation vineyard in El Dorado. If you know anything about me, you know my wines, you know that I love El Dorado. This particular vintage, and as with a lot of my wines, I take the 4, 5, or 6 best barrels, turn it into a special single vineyard wine. I want to showcase the very best of what a vineyard can do. I've done that with this 09. My wife loved this wine, actually. This has turned into one of her favorites. It's big, it's black, but it's elegant. It's got long, full-bodied tannins, but it's soft. I would say the mid-palate's more similar to like a pretty Merlot. The finish, definitely more like Cab. Maybe the front's more like Cab Franc. A lot of perfume, a lot of rose petals. It's a complete wine. It's fantastic. It's one of the wines that most people aren't willing to try, but should. I invite you to check out a new cool wine. Stop it, should. Okay? Stop it, invite you to should. Sounds good. Thanks.